Hello everyone, this is Krayshep, and I'm going to be playing Space Station 13 for you today. This is going to be more of an introduction video. I know there are some out there, but it's been a while. There are some new revisions to the game. There are quite a few servers out there, and I thought I'd just kind of make an overview video, and probably what I'll wind up doing. I do play this quite often, so I'll wind up just recording if I happen to get a trade around. Unfortunately, I am sadly lacking in the robust department. I'm not all that great at my T rounds. I tend to just panic and get myself killed. But hey, it's all in fun. So without further ado, Space Station 13, for the moment, go ahead and just ignore this awesome poster. Space Station 13 is a game that is on a platform called Beyond. Beyond is, take a quick look here, it's interesting. It's basically a platform that lets people make 2D style games of their own. So in order to play Space Station 13, you first have to download Beyond. It's not all that complicated. Go ahead and download it, install it. You'll have to make an account, so you'll have to open the program up, log in, make your account. I would set it to remember everything and go from there. Next, what I like to do is go to spacestation13.com, and this is there was originally a team that was going to remake Space Station 13 from what it is now into an awesome new engine, but unfortunately that fell to the wayside. So what they did do is sort of make it a all-in-one landing page for anyone who wants to play. So I like to go to Play Now, and you'll see a list of all the servers available. There are a bunch out there. Really, there's and it's great that they've got sort of the role-playing aspect because it tells you how serious they are. Goon Station, normally lots of chaos, lots of fun, very quick. I believe the speed is actually pretty high, like pretty good performance. TG Station, TG is a 4chan group that, this is where it gets confusing. I'm not really familiar with the history of sort of all these different revisions, but someone has the code, so to speak, and they built Space Station 13. I believe TG took a release of the Goon Station code, so Goon Station had messed with the game and made some changes, and then TG Station, or TG, the 4chan TG group, Traditional Games, they took it and added more to it. They made it sort of their own baby. Unfortunately, I guess recently there was a leak where all of their source code got pushed out to all these different groups, so I'm still not sure what's going to happen from that, but the end result is that Goon Station has a server, TG Station, Bay Station, which is a community for Dwarf Fortress, normally very heavy role-playing aspect. You don't necessarily have to be the best at your job, but you have to be really playing within the realm of you're on a spaceship, you're on a space station rather, things like that. You have to take it pretty seriously. And then there's Paradise Station. I am a big fan of Paradise. It has a very interesting system for earning karma, and some of the jobs are restricted to people who have certain amounts of karma. There's also a restriction on how many days you've played. So it's a pretty fun game. What you'll do from there is basically click on playing, which server you want. It'll launch it, open it up, and here we are. So this is the first screen we see. I'm not going to go into a ton of this because there are, I'm sure, tutorials out there, and it's pretty easy. You hit Setup Character, and you can mess around with your character. Lots of options here. Just mess with those as you will. You can add as much stuff as you want as far as your detail. Occupation preferences are the important thing. This only comes into play when the round starts. So at the very start, so say this round is ending. I should actually explain that they work in rounds. These normally can last anywhere from about 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes more, sometimes less. So once the game ends, the server restarts and a new round begins within about 2 minutes. So these preferences really only take effect at the start. They're sort of a roll, and you get to be, whatever, you get a chance at being whatever you've got. I like to keep it random, so I've got all my stuff on low. All the different roles that I enjoy are on low here. I try to stay away from sort of these roles over here. This is more, Cargo Technician actually is kind of fun. and Cume as well. So I'll add those back in, but I recently have been playing a lot of Virologist, a lot of Medical Doctor because I enjoy playing those roles. I also enjoy playing Security, but the way Paradise Station works is there's a restriction on how soon you can become that role, which, honestly, it's not that big of a deal to me because it helps new players get comfortable with the game before getting into a role that might be over their heads. And Security, there's a lot of chance of doing something wrong and getting yourself in trouble. So at the moment, we'll go ahead and we're just going to have the game generate a name for us here. So we're going to be, let's take a look here. Rusty Schaefer. Wonderful. I'm going to save my slot because I did make some occupational preference changes. And yeah, we'll go ahead and save the setup. Close the box, and we're going to join the game because we are just at the start. We just missed the start by about 17 minutes. So we're going to join the game. First, let's take a look at who's on the station currently. If I could hit this icon, there we go. All right, so we've got a couple heads of different departments, a lot of security, which could be good or bad. Not too many people. Oh, there's a good amount in medical. Yeah, actually looks like everything's pretty well filled out. We don't have a chef. I'm not really great at it, though. Otherwise, I'd volunteer to make some food, but I'm pretty terrible with it. Oh, there we go. He's a culinary artist. My apologies. So we really can kind of pick whatever is available to us. When you join mid-round, you get the option of choosing from the available. It kind of tells you, well, these are the items that are available. This is how many people are playing. I think... Let's take a look here. For the moment, we'll go ahead and just sign up as a medical doctor. I know there already are quite a few doctors on here, but it's going to be easy for me to explain everything as if we're sort of in a calm role. And now, every round in Space Station 13 can be a certain type of round. And it's either Trader, there could be something called Changeling, Revolution, and these different game modes. I'll explain those as we go. There is there's a lot of information in this game. The mode right now, I think we saw it here a minute ago, it was Secret. Yeah, I saw it up here somewhere, but basically we don't know what the role is. At the start of the round, no one knows if it's secret. No one knows if it's a traitor. No one knows if it's a revolution, if there's a cult on board, unless you're a member of whatever that happens to be. And again, that's randomly assigned based on what you've chosen at the start. So if we jump into the game, the first thing you notice, if you start to say you want to just move around, you're traditionally thinking WASD, and you'll start typing in the bottom corner. By default, your hotkeys in this game are disabled. You can hit the tab button to enable hotkeys. This lets you move around using WASD. Also, at the start right now, I'm going to go apologize for the fact that I have a mechanical keyboard. It is a wonderful DOS keyboard that will hopefully not be clacking too much, but just to be safe, I wanted to throw an apology out there just in case. So, yeah, we're just going to explore the station a bit. I'm kind of moving down the entry hallway. There's some interesting things of note. This is the vault, which contains some wonderful items of ill repute. Here's gateway access, which is only available to gateway explorers, which is a special role. The Cyber-Aid, or Siberia, Cyber-Aid, I always do that the first time I see it. The Cyber-Aid is a design, I think it's shared by a couple other servers. The layout of the map follows this sort of bridge-centric with wings. So you've got a northern wing, which is security, eastern is medical, southern is engineering, and west is kind of arrivals. So that's roughly how the Cyber-Aid works. And any station that follows this same kind of layout. So here we find the security lobby, and we'll go ahead and just come into the lobby, look around a little bit, make sure there's no shit-curity happening, just doing a bit of an exploration. To look at people, you can shift-click and left-click, and this comes up with the information. Using the shortcut method to type or to talk, you press T. and this pulls up a box of what you want to say. You'll notice here LOOC means the person had said something in out of character chat, but LOOC, and it's up here under the OOC tab, lets you basically speak out of character locally. So like he said a bug. Well, a bug wouldn't make sense in a real world situation. You know, whatever. Depends on how hard RP you want to have it. So, all right, as a doctor, we should probably go to the med bay and see what's going on. And here we are. Luckily, no blood. That's always a good sign off the bat. I'm going to get a couple items that I always like to carry with me as a doctor. So we're going to start off with getting ourselves a medical belt. Now I picked this up by left clicking. You can press E to equip the item in the most I'm not sure of how the game terms it. If it's the, you know, it prioritizes equipment slots over bags. So if I press E now, I'll put it on my belt. Okay, can't be a doctor without a stethoscope, so we'll press E and attach that to the jumpsuit. Have no idea. I think that actually helps you with getting the pulse of someone. Alright, and then I right-clicked here, and right-clicking lets you see what's in a stack, because you can stack things in this game. They get a little bit crazy. So right-clicking, we see there's a health scanner. I'm going to pick this up, and again, press E to equip it. And now you notice this health bar. This shows me if a person is healthy or not, and what their overall health is. And it also shows if they have a virus, which is, it comes up as a little sad face. You'll see a green sad face, and that indicates that someone has a virus. So yeah, we're a doctor. We don't want to be getting anyone dirty with our nasty grubby hands, so we'll go ahead and put on our gloves, and we'll get a sterile mask. To open these boxes without picking them up, I click and drag to my character. That opens the box. If we take a look at the advanced trauma kit, we see that we are provided, looks like, yeah, this is the advanced trauma kit. So we've got, it will heal a lot of brute damage, and this burn kit will heal a lot of burn damage. We don't want to necessarily waste these right off the bat. It's normally best to keep those for a dire emergency because, well, they are emergency kits. There are patching kits and little things that can help with bruising. So we'll go into this little storage room here and pick up, let's take a look. Just a burn patch. I do need a health analyzer for myself and a brute patch. And we'll go ahead and also throw this in here. I haven't been paying attention to chat too much. Let's take a look and see what's going on here. Wizard. Okay, so it looks like there is a wizard on board. I've never played a wizard as an antagonist. It is hilariously fun. You can either be glorious and amazing or terrible and die quickly. Wizard lets you jump around. You can teleport quickly. You can polymorph people. You can basically explode them. They are very powerful. That's why there's only, I think, a main wizard, and there's also an assistant to the wizard who's there to basically protect them. Oh, we've got a dead person. Alright, someone's dead. I'm not sure how long they've been dead. Okay, so what can happen when someone dies in this game? They aren't necessarily completely dead. You have the chance of resuscitating them using, now this is, I'm not sure in other stations, but as far as on Paradise, you can resuscitate them. If they are in the dead state where you saw that little death skull icon, you can use a defibrillator to restart their heart. If they're close to death, like if they're in the critical state, which I'm sure at some point I'm going to die and you'll see the critical state that I'm talking about, someone can perform CPR to keep them alive. And it looks like someone took the defibrillator. So I'm talking into my medical headset by doing T to start talking, and then I use :H for headset. This will talk in your headset specific channel. I can shift click on my headset to see what is available. If I normally just use :H. Nice Daisy reference there. I normally use :H to talk into whatever headset I happen to be part of. So if you're a head of security or head of personnel, you may have more channels where you need to specifically, say I want to talk in the medical channel, etc. These are cryotubes. These help someone who is in a very, very high damaged point. If they're, say they got lots of burn damage, lots of brute damage, you put them in the cryotubes and they regenerate. These cryotubes are operated by this gas cooling system. It wasn't enabled, and so I'm going to go ahead and turn on the system and then set the temperature to very cold. Because otherwise, someone brings in a body, they try to put it into the cryotube, and it doesn't do anything because it's not cold. So these are kept turned off until a patient actually needs to go in them. Let's take a look. Maybe the defib kit is in here. No, man, someone took those defibs, and they are gone. Not the most important thing ever, but I mean, if you want to be a good medic, you want to be able to resuscitate people. If someone dies and you can't revive them, you can bring them to the geneticist lab, and if we shift-click on Zero or Zarko here, we can, well, he's a surgeon, so he's apparently a very well-trained surgeon who can dabble in genetics. But what they do is you put someone into a cloning pod, use the cloning console here, and you can make a carbon copy of that person. I'm not super familiar with cloning. I think eventually I'd like to try that as a role. I did it before. Now, there's two roles the geneticist plays. Either cloning a person, they die, you want them to be cloned, or you can mess with someone's genetics. You can start playing with DNA and give yourself amazing powers or super incredibly frustrating and annoying powers as well. So, one thing actually I did forget. Let me sneak through the morgue here. I'm going to use this dispenser and get myself an upgrade for my health analyzer. This can tell me what someone is infected with and what the possible cure is. So it's really great if people start having viruses or there's some kind of virus going around the station. So yeah, we see, let's see, there's a janitor right there. I don't know who the person... Cena, that's who we saw up at the top near security. That's a nanotransin representative. It's a special role that I really honestly don't even know. Most of the time it's just they kind of play I do believe they report to the captain, and they can do they've got pretty good access. I'm not sure if they can get into security and things like that or not. So we'll just explore a bit. Down here, this was the paramedic room. Inside of this room there's an ambulance that lets the paramedic drag around a cart that can haul people. Pretty great to get back to medbay quickly. Moving down, this is engineering. I believe up here this would be Atmosia, atmospherics. So you can see engineering, camera, grid, and power. I don't know if I can get... Nope, I can't go through here. Actually, this might just be the north part. I think in this map, engineering and atmospherics are pretty close together. Like, I think atmospherics is somewhere over here. Farther down south, all the way in the very, very south, once you cut through engineering, there is, actually below here, there is the singularity which powers the ship. And so the engineers at the start of the shift have to turn that on and get it set up. So I've just turned on my flashlight and my PDA. It doesn't give you a ton of light, but it will prevent us from, basically running into walls, hopefully. And I'm really just... Oh, there's some blood on the ground. Oh, it's creepy. Alright, so this door, I wonder if we can take a scan of that at all. Okay, we don't have a scanner that lets us get the DNA from blood. I think the detective has that, but hopefully they won't think I'm someone who's been around and doing any blood, but we'll take a look. I like to wait here in case he needs to talk to me. It's obviously suspicious that security opens the door and sees me. Okay, so they're obviously dealing with some other stuff because he basically said, I don't care, I'm busy. So they're hunting for the wizard, I'm sure. Right here, the captain is asking that we turn on suit sensors. So suit sensors are part of your jumpsuit. You can right-click and toggle suit sensors, tracking beacon. I'll show you what that means here in just a second. You can also do some of those activities with these tabs up top. So IC means in-character things you can do, like Setting the suit sensors, although that might be on the object. Yes, object. Object, I think, tab is any object you have on you that you can do something with. It's under the object tab as opposed to what your character can do as a person. Right. So, I'm going to go into the little lobby room here. So with the suit sensors, here's a crew monitoring computer, and anyone who has suit sensors turned up to show life signs, we will be able to see. Now, there's basically 3 levels. I'll go down here to objects real quick. Suit sensors. So when suit sensors are on binary, you only see if the person is living. If they're on vitals tracker, you see their vitals. Like this chemical researcher is kind of brute damage. Red is brute damage. And if you get tracking beacon, of course, you can see exactly where they're at, which is great. A lot of people have trouble remembering, especially if you're a newer trader or something like that. You want to turn these off if you are doing bad stuff. Although if you notice here, it looks really suspicious not to have your vitals tracker on, but not a lot of people always have their I'm going to get away from there if they want to get down. Not a lot of people always have their tracking on, so there's a couple people here who are not being tracked. I like to keep an eye on this when I'm in a security role, but I try to stick with them in my realm. You know, I mean, if we're looking at this as a doctor, you obviously know there's something going on. You could, make the decision to go from there, but really not part of your role. You're not security. Your objective is to make sure people are secure, and that would be the AI talking that you hear. All right. So, looks like right now, Cecilia Mingle, a little bit wounded. She's in surgery, so I assume someone's taking care of her. Unknown security medbay. Security medbay. That's weird. I'm assuming security knows about that, so I'm not going to go pestering them. The geneticist has burn damage, which is kind of normal. They can do things that wind up giving themselves a little bit of burn damage, so... Alright, I guess we'll just go ahead and explore a little bit. I think this is only... Yeah, so this is the genetics modification area down here, and then this is more of the actual cloning computer itself. So that means that we've got a scanner, we've got a pod, refresh, records, no records, scan. Man. Something I'm definitely going to have to mess with is to get more familiar with that, because in a pinch you may have to be called on to do that as a medical personnel. And actually, every so often you'll see a book lying around in one of these offices that link to... It's blank. They don't always work. I do like to have the wiki pulled up. Now, this is the Paradise Station wiki. This is the server we're playing on. These are really great. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have these open if you're doing a role that you've not done before. They've got job guides, so if you want to know how to be an efficient doctor, you would scroll on down to medical doctor, and the game would basically explain what your overall job is. It also links to some important things, like maybe if you want to be better at, you want to know which medicines are the most helpful to treat which injuries. Here's a guide for medical. So pretty great there. Apology, pulled up OBS on accident there. So yeah, we'll go ahead and explore a little bit more. Again, we're not in the rules of the server. If we pop this open real quick, it should open in glorious Internet Explorer. Paradise Station has a decent set of rules here. Basically, they all kind of stem down to: don't be an asshole to everyone else, and stick within your role. Metagaming is kind of like, it's a self-imposed rule. It's the same thing in sort of Dungeons and Dragons if you play any kind of RPG or tabletop. If you're a doctor, you're not really going to be... you're not going to know how to, operate the Singularity engine. You're not going to be able to set up the engine. If you're a security guard, you probably aren't going to know how to conduct in-depth surgery on someone. So that's kind of what metagaming is. The game encourages you to stick within your role, to do what you're meant to do on the server. Within reason, you can branch out sometimes. So in a pinch, I might be able to serve as a surgeon. As a medical doctor, you're kind of expected to do that, but this server specifically has the ability to let you change the title of your job. So for example, if I hover on my icon, I'm a medical doctor. I could change that to be a surgeon, so then I would be expected to do surgeries. I like to play more as an all-arounder. Gonna move the mask down a bit. There we go, much better. So yeah, I know I'm kind of covering a lot of information as it comes up. There is so much info about this game, and there's so many little things that you really won't know how to do until you explore and experiment. Anything you think you might be able to do. Look, you've got a pen in your hand, you click on paper, you can write something down. It's pretty much that in, that kind of level. You also, let's see, maybe you wanted to, I don't know if it'll work because pen, but we can't do it. I was going to try to label an item in my hand, but I don't think you can label big objects with a pen. You need a label maker. Good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and, I can't remember if this is blood. Oh, it's a rune. Okay. I don't think there's a cult. That's probably the priest messing around with crayons because they can just draw things on the ground. Let's see, what other stuff can we cover here? If you're a doctor, this medical scanner here, this health analyzer, click on someone, tells you lots of information about that person. What you really want to focus on right away, the damage specific. So if I happen to, just for fun, I'm going to change my intent, which is this small box here. Right now it's on I will help someone. So if I click on someone, I will help them up, or I will help them unbuckle, or I will perform CPR if they're wounded. These intents are 4 different ones. So this is the disarm, which means you'll try to knock someone down and disarm them. It's pretty good for self-defense. It's actually it's kind of underutilized. It is really strong, especially if you're being chased or if you're in a position or a role that might not be aggressive like a doctor. If you turn on disarm and hit someone, knock them down, you can knock them out, knock them down, take their weapon, and they're down for, I don't know, I think about like 4 or 5 seconds, I'm not sure. This is the grab intent, which if you click on someone, you will try to grab them. You will have the option to reinforce your grab. So it's sort of like, think of it, you reach out to grab someone with one hand. Well, you can reinforce that eventually and bring them closer to you, become tighter, bring in both of your hands, and in this game you can actually try to kill someone by choking them out. There's tons of ways to hurt each other, and I'm sure we'll probably be on the receiving end of that, but it's lots of options. You also, if you're a changeling, the changeling is this creature that its entire purpose is to absorb other creatures' DNA, and to do that you have to be securely grabbing that person. So you'll use that when you're in that kind of a role. Finally, we've got the harm. This is if you click on someone, you will attack them with whatever weapon or whatever item is in your equipped hand. So let's go over here real quick. Don't want to be too creepy, but just to show an example, we'll target my head, and I'm going to punch myself. Right there. I punch myself in the head. Okay. Not very bright. I'm going to take out my health analyzer. Now you see my health has gone down a bit, and I've got 8 I've got 8 brute damage on my foot. So apparently I'm not the best martial artist in the world. I aimed for my head. I punched my foot. Hey, whatever works out. But now I've got 8 brute damage. What I can do is go into my little medical bag, take out my brute healing patch. I could actually do a roll of gauze. Each of these, I think, do some healing. Well, you know what we could do, if I'm thinking about that? Yeah, let's look at that roll of gauze. Maybe it's on here. Maybe it's not. Okay, I guess it's not. Yeah, I think these are a bit more powerful. Good stuff. We could target our left foot, click on ourselves, and we've placed a tiny little bruise patch on my left foot because I'm an idiot and apparently punched myself. Okay, that's fine. We'll leave that damage for now. It should regenerate, or if we needed to put the healing patch, I'm not quite sure. I normally deal in way more intense trauma, like someone coming in with a missing foot and they're bleeding out. So a lot of the medical stuff you'll wind up doing is going to be, you know, you're trying to save someone from dying, or you're reviving them. Oh, lovely. Captain's dead. So you may not deal in minor damage. These little sleepers here, these are great for healing addictions. They also will heal some minor damage. So actually, I bet if I crawled into the sleeper here, again, click dragging myself in, it cools you down. We'll give it maybe a 5 count here. And you can also do it from here, I think. We can do object, eject sleeper. Nope, it didn't heal us all the way. If it healed anything. No. Okay. So again, things I don't quite understand. I'm still experimenting. You can apparently load and inject awesome amounts of chemicals. So if I were to be sitting in here and my fellow doctors were next to it, they might have injected with, I think it's stryptic powder. Heals any brute injuries. Yeah. So, really a lot of this is better explained once we get into an emergency situation. So it's, oh, here we go. Someone's sick. Hooray. So you can see he's a little damaged. I'm going to go up to him. A little bit of a burn, mostly burned on the head. I may go ahead and just put a little burn patch here. I'm forcing them to apply a burn patch. Just a little bit. And yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, really, you don't have to have everyone topped off at every point. It's really up to the other player. Most players in the game don't care if they're a little bit injured. They do if they've got a red haze around their screen, which is from, who are you? Are you a doctor? You're an engineer. Good stuff. So this is an announcement which the heads of the system or the station can do. He made an announcement basically. The Hop is the captain, and we're still under a wizard threat. See, lots of great stuff. What I like to do is within my role. Now it's kind of a you're treading the line on metagaming. You know, there's a wizard about. Your objective as a doctor is to respond and to make sure people are healed up. I like to stay mobile. I don't like to sit in the... God, there's so much blood in there. I like to move around and not stay in, you know, my office the entire time. Although, as a doctor, there is a medical scanner in there, which lets you see that, you know, the crew's health. So maybe it's wiser. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and browse around. It's going to be a little bit quiet, I guess, until we have anyone who's damaged. I may pay a little bit more attention to the chat here. Oops, I missed medbay. We'll go down. Okay. This awesome little refrigerator here is... Oh, there's no chemist. Or at least the chemist is not doing a good job. The chemist is asleep. This refrigerator, the chemist can load full of wonderful, helpful drugs, which are better than the default drugs that come in to, you know, all these little boxes here. So we've got our first aid kit or what have you. Am I coughing? No, he must have been coughing. So the chemist, there's a term called SSD. It's basically where the person disconnects. Now, whether that was because of an internet outage or because the person has quit, the character will fall over and you'll see the line, he isn't responding, he seems to be asleep. On Paradise Station, you can't touch anyone that is SSD unless you're taking them to a sleeping area where it's safe for people who are disconnected to go. Really, he's secure because he's behind his chemical lab door, so he might have disconnected. Most people, if they're quitting, will go ahead and take themselves over to the sleeping area and, you know, take care of it themselves. So we don't have blood lying around. Let's grab this. Oh, God. Yeah, blood everywhere. It's just unsanitary. We'll clean this up a bit. Got a little squirt bottle in our hands here. Perfect. God, this guy's just dragging the bodies everywhere. Very unhygienic. Let's see. This person, I thought this was the same person that was dead earlier, but lots of damage there. Are we going to actually have a chance to revive someone? It looks like possibly yes. Yes. So the doctor is trying to equip the defibrillator. You basically have to wear it. I think, yeah, so you can wear it in your, when you've got a backpack, you put it on probably your suit storage. Alright, so I'm going to grab this person and take them to the cloner. The doctor revived them. I'm going to stick her in the cloner, turn that, or excuse me, not cloner, the cryo tube. Turn that cryo tube on. Awesome. So, yeah, the, I think that was the chief medical officer, grabbed the defib and revive that person, so you can actually be brought back from the dead without going through the cloning process. So right now we've got some, I think cryoxin, I can't remember, cryoxidine? Yeah, cryoxidine. So basically cryoxidone, sorry, I want to make sure I was pronouncing that. Cryoxidone, you start the round with 2 beakers of it here, and you put one into each cryo tube, and it heals all damage across the board. So you put, someone in here, you turn this bad boy on, and they start their road to recovery. So I'm going to grab a little bed here. I like to keep things, pretty realistic. You're not going to be dragging them around the floor. Grab a little fold-out bed, and bring this here, and perfect. Yeah, so I think this brute damage is permanent. They've got broken things. Let me ask him if he wants to perform the surgery. Oh. So I'll just ask in case he really wants to, do whatever. She's peaked at about 64 health and 36 brute, which means that this person is basically have some internal damage that needs to be fixed. So this should be fun. We'll drag them down. I think they're missing a foot. Yes, they are. Alright, so we're going to stick Miss Cecilia into the scanner, see exactly what kind of damage she's got. So we're looking at left hand miss. Okay, so she's robotic. She's got a fractured left foot. And she has a damaged left hand, but it's cybernetic. So I'm guessing, okay, I'm guessing she'll have to get that taken care of at the roboticist, but she has a fracture in her left foot. So we will go ahead and, I really need you to move. I need you to move. Okay, just doing this. He asked me to take care of it, and then randomly. Okay. All right, so he's taking care of that. I'm going to bring Cecilia down to the operating room. All right, perfect. Looks like someone's already been in here. Here's a defib. Okay. There's no tools, but I'm assuming people like to hide the tools in duffel bags. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think it's kind of silly, but I get what they're talking about. It lets you quickly move back and forth. So we'll unbuckle her, put her on the table. I'm going to I'm click dragging in a lot of these things. So this lets me see what's on her. I'm removing her mat. She's human, so she has no special breathing requirements. And I want to make sure she's got nothing on her back. Take the satchel off. And what I'm going to do instead is replace the satchel with... I don't want to accidentally click smash her in the face. I think I can do this. Yeah, there it is. So I put the anesthetic tank on her back, or excuse me, in my active hand, and then hit that. By the way, I'm using X to switch between my active hand. just informational. And then we'll put the mask on her. All right, and we'll turn on the internal. So what we're doing is we're turning on some laughing gas. Perfect. So now Miss Cecilia is basically on the table. She's ready for surgery. You know what? We're going in surgery. We're going to turn on the hollow sign. Make sure no one comes in here. Grab our duffel bag and hit the wiki because, hey, it's actually nowadays it's a little bit easier. I think it was her. Take a quick look. Her left foot is fractured. She's missing her right foot. If I have my intent on, have my intent on helpful, and I've got my scalpel, I can click her once and it starts the surgery. So what we're doing is it was a fracture, which is bone repair, I believe. Okay, so we're preparing to operate on her left foot. If you want to use the computer, you can basically follow along, and the computer tells you exactly what to do in each step, which is nice. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and it's kind of cool. I don't really follow it all that much, but it is nice to have. If you just click on this, open it up, it tells you what to do in each step, so it's pretty helpful. So clamp bleeders, I believe we need a hemostat to clamp the bleeders. Okay. Retract the skin with the retractor. Disgusting. Okay, we're mending the bone with bone gel, I believe. Hopefully I won't smack her with it. Perfect. Now we're going to set the bone, which I think is, yeah, bone setter. I mean, makes perfect sense, huh? All right, setting the bone. Bone is set. Medicate the bones. I'm guessing advanced trauma kit? Need more than a bandage. Oh, Fixavein maybe? Didn't really want that to happen. Medicate the bones. Quickly bounce over to surgery. Not ghetto surgery. Surgery. Let's take a look here. Bone repair. Okay, more bone gel. Okay, makes perfect sense. More mending of the bones and cauterize the incision. All right, I think we're done. What we're gonna do is pull her off the bed, drag her and stuff her into this scanner here to make sure we got everything as much as we could get as doctors. So yeah, her left foot is no longer fractured. She has robotic cybernetics, so she's going to have to see the roboticist. She's still in critical condition, but that's really only because of all the damage on her robotic parts. I'm fairly certain. I'm actually going to ask here just to be safe because I am a good medical doctor and hopefully won't kill anyone. All right, so we're going to pull her out of the cloner, or excuse me, the scanner, and tie her down to the bed. And we're going to go ahead and disable the internals and remove everything and give her back all her items. So pull off the anesthetic tank. Pull off the medical mask. She's super giggly because she is still on all these lovely anesthetic drugs. So we will get this locked over. She'll take a while to wake up. I'll put the surgery bag back. I'll put her mask in there, and I will give her back her backpack.
Hello, team.
Perfect. Right, so I like to bring them back out and tuck them into the recovery area because, I mean, honestly, we're recovering perfect, pretty good. I'm covered in blood, pretty awesome. Take this bed, I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands a bit. God, I hope she's not bleeding out. And great. Okay, there's no fresh blood. It looks like it's dried blood, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna help her up. see if she's actually AFK or if she's with us at all. Missing her right foot, kind of brutal. Okay. She might be AFK. I'm going to go ahead and tuck her into the bed. And I'm going to clean up a little bit of the mess. I may leave her a little note on her PDA about the surgery and that she'll need to see a roboticist. But overall, I think it should be pretty good.
Kill this wizard, coward, bitch.
In different servers, you may also notice different. Is it empty? You may also notice different. Say when someone says something, they say it comes up differently. The AI in this game, which is a player, is running a script which gives a nice, cool little effect here. So, oh wait, we are no longer in surgery, and Homer's really not talking to me, so we're just going to go ahead and let him through. And I'm going to go find the captain and see what's going on with him. No, and who are you? Gateway Explorer. Is this the captain? There we go. I'll take a look at the captain. He's got 24 damage, so we may go ahead and just do upper body targeting and a advanced burn kit, because they have quite a bit of damage on the chest. Oh, you've already been... Do a burn patch, maybe? I think, do we use our burn patch? Let's take a look. He might have done that himself, so... burn. We could do is actually have him take a salicylic acid. I think that also does, heals burn damage over time. No, but it's only brute. Am I in the right box? Psh, figures. Burn. I mean, I guess we could just throw him into, let's see how this turns out. He screams because, of course, it hurts. Upper body. Yeah, weird. Take a look at the burn damage on the wiki. We have knock me away. What are you doing? I think that's about as much as we could do. It looks like he'd already applied, not the little patch, but he actually applied the advanced burn kit. So I think he was already patched and ointmented up, if you will. So I don't think there's anything else. I think it's sort of a heal over time effect. I don't know why salicylic acid is in the fire kit, because I thought that was for brute. Yeah, didn't we just see that? Salicylic acid, there's brute. Yeah, only if it has less than 50. Silver. Yeah, so silver sulfudine. I think that's sulfur. I almost had the word, but I'm gonna let it go. That only applies for a burn patch, or that's what's on the burn patch. So without anything else, I think they're gonna be okay, really. I have to look up what the sleeper does, because it's been a while. Oh, that's right. We could have put him into the sleeper and injected the medicine manually. That's really what I probably need to do, is get a little bit better with chemicals so that I know, okay, jump in, perfect, we might apply, Stryptic powder or what have you. So stick them in a sleeper, and eject them full of all the happy drugs. Right, so we're going to grab him and take him right into, let's see, lots of brute damage. I'm going to go ahead and stick them in a sleeper real quick. Oh, fuck, I messed that up. And let's look up some chemicals real quick. I think that was that Striptic powder we talked about. Yeah, we could just read the guides. I do like, I should recommend, if I recommend you the guide, I should use it myself. So, always bandage that syrup is bleeding to prevent blood loss. And we'll go ahead and load them with what? Okay, I'm actually going to eject them and take them to the scanner. Should have done that first. I am bad. I apologize to any experienced Space Station 13ers of my inability, my non-robustness. Okay, so no internal damage, just lots of brute. But it's a lot of it's on robotic parts. Again, stuff we can't do. Their right foot, though, right hand, everything right side is not robotic. So we can take care of that. So we'll eject them and do a lot of gauzing here. Alright, so we will get some gauze. I think it was right side. Let me get him out of the way real quick, and we'll take him actually into this room here, and we'll do right side of the body. We'll do the bruise patches over the right side of everything. Okay, and we used up the last of our patch, so I will check him and grab another gauze here. Hopefully our friend doesn't just up and take him, but I could learn something. If he prefers, I put him in the sleeper or anything like that. Yeah, so let's see what he's going to load him up with. Anything? Striptic powder. So that should apply across the board then in this case. So good. I'm learning things. That's perfect. Was that Homer talking? No, okay. Striptic powder, brute injuries. Okay. Patch form or the sleeper. Okay, perfect. And we're just mentioning that there is some brute damage on the parts, which will show that person as being damaged because we can't really fix that. So let's take a look at what else might be going on. I think it looks like Homer's taking care of this person, so that's fine. We have no one in surgery. We have blood everywhere, though. That always bothers me. Whenever I play medical, I have to play OCD, cleaning person, because just the OR shouldn't be. The OR in the main room shouldn't be covered in blood. Come on, folks. All right. We'll clean this up a bit. And it looks like he's getting well taken care of, and I'm getting knocked away. I think we'll stop and grab some food. Your character in this game does get hungry over time. I think what I'll do for this series is, like I said, I'll probably... Oh, there's no food. I will probably keep playing and sort of recording as things come up. So I think I'll make a video per role, and we can explore the roles together. And then if you all have any feedback and comments and suggestions, that would be perfect, because I'm definitely very new at some of these roles, and I could use all the advice I can get. And then my trader rounds, we will all enjoy my failure together as I stumble my way and do something undoubtedly stupid. So it'll be fun. Doctor role, I really do like the doctor role. I enjoy helping people. I go out of my way, especially when I play the paramedic role. I really enjoy that one because I like being the first responder, although you wind up finding that most people will come to they'll actually come to medical anyways. And right now we've got quite a few doctors, which is great, but sometimes you wind up, oh, he's really blocky. Okay, he is actually a block. I was wondering why he looks so blocky on the sprite. You'll wind up seeing that a lot of people are know exactly where to take folks, and I mean sometimes they may even start to heal them on their own, which is kind of annoying, but it's whatever, especially when they're in the pinch and you're fighting off of blob or something like that. So yeah, we'll have a nice healthy lunch. Space Twinkie. I'm just gonna litter Gonna litter so I have the janitor, give the janitor something to do. So let's see, what other features have we not talked about? Click dragging is a lot in this game. I think we've gone over that a little bit. So if you're ever in doubt, click drag will help you. As you see, if I just left click here, you can see I opened up my lab coat. Just click dragging will bring it to my hand. So lots of stuff there. This server specifically, on any item that has an action, will give you this awesome shortcut bar up here. So for example, if you look at my character sprite, I'm putting my mask over and kind of up and down, and you can set your internals sometimes if you've got it in the right slot. Headlamps as well can be enabled from up here, so it's a quick tool to be able to do that, which is nice. Okay, what else is going on? Wizard's back on station. Oh, we don't necessarily want to be super close to the wizard, but we want to be in range of helping other people. And this janitor is on the ball. Like most of the time, janitors wind up just, you know, they're breaking into different places on the station. But I've seen this janitor all over the place. He is doing awesome. This is a small little room that on Paradise isn't really finished, but you could do something if you wanted to, which is kind of cool. You can make a little med bay or a service station or whatever. I've not really seen most people turn it into like a bar, but I would like to see some people try to do other stuff with it. Some random plasma lying around. Plasma is used in quite a lot of different things: chemistry, robotics, virology, meteors. So awesome. So the impacts you're hearing are the sounds of meteors. Wow, you were covered in blood. What is going on with you? Psychiatrist really shouldn't necessarily be coated in blood. Kind of sketchy. Wouldn't be surprised if we found out they had a role as an antagonist later, maybe like a traitor. I don't know if this would this type of a round will give you traitor plus wizard, but it's not unheard of. So I'll just drop that off there. I don't really care who gets it. Someone can use it. Again, not much going on. Because we joined this game mid-round, I may not stay to the end as far as the the recording goes. I wanted to give you kind of an overview of, you know, what's going on, how to use the basic commands and move around. Here on Paradise, you can get find the option here. There is something that here we go. Toggle hotkey. Well, this is the toggle hotkey. I'm silly. There was something that basically showed you what all the hotkeys were in the game without you having to go out. Set hotkey mode. Well, ooh, fancy. Yeah, I don't see it right here. But if you just search in Google for Space Station 13 keyboard shortcuts, there's other things I haven't talked about, like R will enable the throwing mode, so you can throw things. Q will drop an object. E will use it. Z will activate it if it's something that could be activated, like a torch or a weapon. There's a lot of people on the bridge right now. They're just hanging out, giving out death sensors. So yeah, a random person probably in a xenomorph suit. Pretty creepy. If you guys have any questions about Space Station 13, or if you have any roles you'd like someone to just kind of go through, let me know. I'm comfortable enough with the game where I can try out most roles. I definitely do not know the ins and outs of all of them. Oh, here's a breach over here. You can see the floor is kind of white there, which means it's been frozen. So I'll just let them know, so the engineers will come over here and fix the breach. That way any new players that come on the station don't immediately die of asphyxiation. So that's where we're at right now. It's been a pretty calm round. It sounds like just wizards going on and whatnot, but we and right here you can see how the floor is a little shiny, so that means the janitor has recently sprayed it, so of course I slip and fall. So Also, a fun thing to do as a janitor is to, of course, make a nice string of right there slippery areas. So just keep an eye on the floor. I think right here would be safe between these areas because it's cleaned here and here. We'll see if he slides. Oh, he saw it too. All right, so we're going to call it here. If you guys have any questions, like I said, go ahead and let me know. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a great day.